check this out. We got a new toy. It is the AQUAPOTS Lite by Proven Winners. See that? I'm gonna fill that up with almost 3 gallons of water. Goes in the bottom of this pot, and then this thing will be self-watering for quite some time, watering the roots from the bottom.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Trial and Error Gardening. I'm Amy.
I'm Matt.
And today we are going to be unboxing and potting up the Proven Winners AQUAPOTS Lite pots. And so these are new from Proven Winners, the AQUAPOTS Lite line. They had a traditional AQUAPOTS line, which is a glazed ceramic, much heavier and larger. And the AQUAPOTS line are self-watering planters. And so traditionally, I think the AQUAPOTS glazed ceramic, you could only get it through a retailer or maybe online if you could. I think the times that we had looked before, we couldn't get them online and no one around in our area had them for sale. So I was really excited when I reached out to Proven Winners and found out that they were launching this line and they were ready to go. And so we picked up 2 of them and I wanted to unbox it with you guys and show you how it came packaged, so you can see if you are looking to purchase these, you know, what you might be looking at. Self-watering planters are going to be really good for newbie gardeners or even seasoned gardeners who are just looking to have an extra hand in the garden. For us, we are going to be putting these in an area where we do not have drip run. And so each pot, from what I understand, can hold almost 3 gallons of water, I think is what it said. And so for us, we are looking at moving in a few years. And one of the things that we are investing in is these self-watering planters, because then we can put our plants in these and take them with us. We don't have to necessarily worry about digging them up and disturbing them from the ground. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this with you guys. We've opened it, but we haven't gotten into it yet. We'll show you everything that's in there. Just so you know, we do not own a nursery. We are not professional gardeners or anything. We are just home gardeners who like to use equipment that helps us around the garden.
Yeah, the important thing is having things that are easy to use, efficient, and mainly so you're not spending all of your time having to drag a hose around and water everything. You know, the drip takes care of a lot of that for us. The gardens that we have planted all have some form of irrigation already in them. But when it comes to pots, unless you want to put all your pots next to each other, it's kind of hard sometimes to use drip on your pots. Now, we do it on our back porch, but if you spread them out, that's just that much more hose you got to try to hide or whatever if you don't want it to look bad. So what these pots are going to allow you to do is put them where you want them, you know, obviously within a hose reach, because you're still going to have to spend a little bit of time with them every now and then.
Or a watering can.
Instead of having to drag a hose out daily to water all your pots, you fill it up. It waters over a period of time. You just have to go back out there from time to time and fill it back up. It's still a lot less work in the long run. So that's what this is for. If you're trying to not be outside when it's 115 degrees outside, like it seems to be in the Midwest, then this is something you want to look into.
This AQUAPOTS line has 3 different styles. We purchased the Urban Metro, I believe, and we'll show you some of the other versions. But for this one, I actually reached out to Proven Winners and asked them about a particular plant I wanted to put in these. And they gave me some great advice. And I just want to mention that if you have not ever reached out to Proven Winners customer service, they are fantastic. They will help you with plants, sometimes even plants that aren't Proven Winners. They will really work with you. And I really appreciate them and their customer service when it came to this product and the particular plant that I was putting in there. They even gave a time recommendation. They said that this particular plant that we're going to be putting in there would last about 3 years in here. And then they gave us some advice to make sure that it would overwinter. So this is going to be, like most things we do, a trial for us. We're going to see how it lasts over the winter and how it does. And of course, we're going to report back to you guys and let you know if we have success, which hopefully we do, because we want to keep these flowers next spring. So we'll go ahead and unbox this and we'll show you guys as we pull everything out. I do want to mention too, for the shipping, if you can see, it says fragile pottery on there. I assume that's because of the old boxes that they used, but as far as I know, this is not pottery because I can lift it up. So It does say handle with care, fragile. It arrived very quickly after we ordered it. And it was, you know, the box wasn't messed up or anything. Looks like it's packaged pretty well. There's the first one. And then
throw that box
so
out of the way.
that's it. Yep.
Okay, so we have both pots. They were well protected with the paper and everything else, plastic and whatnot. So you know, they look like a standard planter you could go buy at, you know, any store. They actually have a glossy look as if they were truly like a ceramic material, which is kind of nice because, you know, they do have a slick feel with a nice glossy look.
So they came packaged really well. They don't have a ton of extra packaging, which I appreciate. There's not a lot of waste and extra plastic. But I do want to show you that they have, if we can see this hopefully, instructions on them. So they've got the 7 steps, and they even have a QR code in case you need a link to how to set all of this up. So if you're intimidated by it, don't be. They're going to have lots of information for you out there.
So digging back in, so this pot is, this one, because this pot was sitting inside of it, this one's empty. You want to move that off the side real quick? So inside of the pot, we have a few things. We have 2 packages of the Proven Winners continuous release plant food. This is going to go into one into each pot to make sure that we give it the food that it needs. Also comes with a plug. If you're going to use these inside, you can plug it so that it doesn't drain out on your carpet. And then there are 2 of the water wells, and these are what go into the bottom to provide the water, the continuous watering that these are going to do when it's full. And we'll get into that when we put it all together as well.
It's worth noting too that if something were to happen and you needed these pots to not be self-watering, if you wanted to pull out a plant that say died and you just wanted to use the pot because you liked it, these pots will still be good without the watering system. They are just, you know, regular. They have the hole at the bottom, or you can plug it up. And then we'll also show you later, you can buy just these inserts, which this is new as well for Proven Winners, I believe, right about now, summer of 23, that you can buy just the inserts to put into your current pots. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just didn't want
not trying to make a lot of noise on the camera.
We were originally looking at just getting these inserts for some of our current pots, but I was not sure how they were structured and if they would fit in our pots, and measuring them. As you can see, they're kind of, you know, tapered down. You don't have to walk away. You can come over here. So we were not sure how these were going to work. So we decided we would get the whole setup, and then maybe in the future we will go and get just some of the inserts and add them to our current pots. If we get more of those in the future and try them, we'll let you know how they work. So Matt has one of these water inserts all opened up.
Okay, so you have your fill tube, you have your lid, and you have your well. The fill tube is going to come up through the bottom of the lid, like so. So your fill tube goes through your lid. It has this little flower that screws onto the top. Sits just like that. And then whenever you put this in the pot, whenever you've got your plants all in there, you'll use this to fill the well. And then over time, that well will water your plants that you have in here.
So soil, roots, it's going to get the water from there. We'll
show you too, because we're actually going to plant the plants that we want to put in here here on the video as well, how to do it. But you have the hole there in the middle, and what you're going to do is this sits in the pot. Grab a pot. This sits down inside the pot, and then you're going to fill with dirt, but you're going to want to make sure in the hole down here that you fill it and pack it down in there pretty good. You just want to make sure it's good and tight in there, and then fill up the rest around it. For aesthetic purposes, if you're planting like a you know, a big decorative thing, then you're probably going to want to have this kind of hidden inside of that plant. So but at the same time, you're going to want it to be where it is accessible. So you don't want to have it like hidden behind something if you're not going to be able to reach it with the hose. So it doesn't look bad. So even if you know, aesthetically it just didn't work out that you couldn't hide it, you know, it's not like it's an eyesore sticking out of your plant by any means. If you put some Super Tunia Vistas in here, you'll never see that thing. In fact, you'll probably struggle to find it. So that's really all there is to it. It's very easy, very simple to put together, and then you're just going to plant. And then these things are good. As you heard, you know, they're saying that with some perennials, you can get multiple years out of it as long as you winter it properly, which is important to us because that's what we're going to put in here. And the reason why 3 years was important to us is because we plan to move hopefully within the next 3 years. So we'll be able to take this with us, and then when we get to where we're going, those perennials will go into the ground. But that's it for the, you know, for the pot itself. We have 2 of them, so we're going to put the other one together as well, and then we're going to get into planting. One thing to note with the fill tube is it is collapsible, and with that, if you don't want the full height out of it, it has 3 levels that you can take it down to. So if you just want it barely up above, you know, the height of the pot, you can actually lower it down based on what you need. And we probably will do just that. Honestly, we'll probably bring it down a notch at least to get it down below, because what we're planting isn't overly tall yet. So that's probably what we're gonna do.
We're at the end of our growing season for the most part, so we don't expect these plants to put on much growth yet. But it's nice to know that you can telescope it up and down as you need, if you need to get it out of the way, as long as you can access it again. So when it's in there, it has these little grooves so that you can make sure that you can reach in there and pull those out easily. But because it has those grooves, it's actually really nice. You can just get your finger under there and pull it up if you needed to change it out.
Let me see something that's really, really enjoyable.
This is a huge pet peeve of mine. Like, one of my biggest pet peeves is when places put stickers on things that they know you're gonna pull off, and it leaves an adhesive or residue behind.
Oh, almost. Right, that's, you know what?
That's on you. That's on you.
That's manageable. I'm okay with it.
Pull it closer. Anyway, you know, mirrors or anything glass, like picture frames, when they put labels right on it, like, why did you guys do that?
So satisfying to get that off without leaving shreds of it. All right, real quick, just give you a good look at that label. And there's the instructions on the pot to help make it easy for you. There's the labels on the pot, on the well, the water well. And this is 2.9 gallons in this well. That's how much water it's gonna hold.
And then it came with 2 of these containers, or 2 of these packets of the premium continuous release plant food.
As you can see, like I was saying, it has a very nice glossy appearance, which makes it appear that it is a ceramic pot, even though it is not. Also, good note, the hole on the bottom, that's where that plug would go if you decide that we want these inside. According to Proven Winners, after that loud car goes by, it's very, very important to not have this plug in there if you're gonna put it outside, because it won't drain. And then you'll actually end up waterlogging your roots, and they will die anyway. Okay, so now on to what we're putting in here.
They're sad.
So these things are, the pots are dirty, but Proven Winners, because that's what we prefer.
Hold on, the tag.
And
Here.
these are skin killers. We got us some Oh So Easy Urban Legend roses. I am a huge rose fan. That's why I love my rose tree in the back. And we have been searching for Oh So Easies. And out here,
For oh so long.
Yeah, for oh so long. Out here in our area, this is just one of those elusive plants that we just couldn't find anywhere. And it took a trip that Amy had to Columbia, Missouri to finally find some Oh So Easies. And on top of that, they were clearanced. So
They're not looking the greatest.
no, and I just trimmed them all back a little bit to hopefully help them get some new growth. But that's why we are putting them in these big pots. We don't really have the space to put these in the ground just yet. And as I said, if we can keep on doing or if we can keep them for 3 years-ish in these pots, I want these to be some nice centerpiece roses for our plans when we move on to what we call our forever home, where we plan to finally settle down and stay. So that's why we're hoping we can hold on to these and keep them healthy inside these pots.
Another reason I thought that these might be good for the self-watering planters are we have animals and we walk in our gardens a lot as we are deadheading and things, and because these have thorns, obviously it would be a lot easier if the animals didn't get touched by the thorns and if we didn't have to mess with them. So with the self-watering planter, this is going to allow us to water them and also put them in an area that's not in high traffic. We can enjoy them still, we can check on them, but they're not going to be in our main path, especially because these get to be 2.5 to 3 foot tall and wide.
I can definitely attest to the fact that these thorns like to grab you, and when they do, they don't let go. Lots of different types of soil you can use, potting mixes. We have had good luck with Miracle-Gro potting mixes. If you are, already on the Proven Winners site, you can certainly buy the Proven Winners potting soils, but we can't find it locally, so we just opted to, go ahead and get the Miracle-Gro that we're already pretty accustomed to, and then we'll use that continuous release food to help feed these things.
So Proven Winners actually recommends to add this to your water when you are filling it up and everything, but since we are starting new, we're just gonna go ahead and add it now, and then we'll add the other packet whenever we start to plant the rows in there.
So we're just gonna take the continuous plant food and we're just gonna pour it down in the well. And then when we fill this with water for the first time, it's going to mix all of this into that water, and then obviously it's going to feed. So now we've poured that in there. We'll put the lid back on, and then we're gonna fill this thing up with dirt. So we wanna get some in there, not all of it yet. And then, like I said, where that hole is, you just wanna make sure you get some good packing down in there. You definitely wanna make sure that that center hole's got some good packed soil in it, and then you can start to fill from there. So now we're ready to put the rest of that bag in here, and probably need more than one bag per, because these pots are kind of big. The soil's been in our garage for a while, so it's a little clumpy. And then we're going to take some of this continuous release plant food again, and we're just going to make sure it gets around in the soil a little bit. We're going to plant the rows where it's at, and then we'll add some soil to the top just to, bring it up where it's supposed to be. This is the part that's going to be fun. These roses are quite intense, and there's not really any good way to grab them. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. No, those aren't gonna work. I'll be right there. All right.
All right, let me get you.
You gotta come prepared with these really disgusting garden, mechanics gloves I turned into garden gloves, because this is gonna hurt. Ow! Son of a... It went through the glove.
I thought you were faking.
No.
Oh.
Nope, that one got me.
Maybe we shouldn't do this.
Ow! Whew.
Don't get
That's painful.
Look. Huh. I'm just here to supervise.
As usual, I'm doing all the work.
And obviously this is not where we are leaving these. We're just here in our garage as we are potting them up because it's been raining off and on today. So we're going to finish potting these up, and then we will get them into their new home location, I guess, not necessarily permanent home because we can move these around, but we'll get them there and then we will water them in and show you guys all that process. So we will get that going. Just got dirt on me.
Watch out. That's because you're in the way.
And then we'll show you that
Man
process.
at work.
We'll show you that process when we get there.
Give me the plant. Stop hurting me. Ow. There has to be a better way. Okay, so we've got both of them in the pots. It took, so these were 2-gallon containers for the roses. It took 3 of the Miracle Grow 25 dry quart containers, so 75 dry quarts, but that's what it took to fill this in with a 2-gallon plant. So obviously more if you're going to the smaller plant, less if you're going to the bigger plant. But with that, we're going to actually load these things up in the cart. We're going to take them out of the back and we're going to finish this video in the back where we're going to put them, because we still got to water them and all that, and we're going to show you how that works. So like we said, we don't have like a permanent place to put these yet. So this is just going to be where one of them goes, a corner of this little patio stair. What we're going to do is water around the plant, just to give it an initial watering. And then we're going to fill the well. So you just want to make sure you give it a nice drink to get it started. That'll help activate that food that we put in there, and it'll also help that dirt start settling so you can see where your low spots are and you can fill back in, because this will help kind of eliminate some of those air pockets that are going to be in there.
So we do have drip over in this garden. We'll do a tour on that soon, and then we have it all the way up to the stair. So technically, if we needed to, we could put this on drip right here. However, we know this is going to be kind of a moving target. We're going to be watching this for a little bit and probably having to move it over. This faces the east, so it gets full sun all day long. And during the winter, that might be good. I'm just not sure how it's going to take being in this area that's a little more exposed. So we may take these and kind of push them up towards the house. You stay here, mister. Push them up towards the house, and so they can be a little more sheltered. When I contacted Proven Winners, they did say that it should be okay outside in the winter. We just want to watch and make sure that there's not excess moisture that's going to get into the reservoir that Matt's filling up and freezing in there.
The only thing that we wish did come on this particular AquaPot is some way to tell how full you've made that well. It doesn't really have any way to do that, so you do it by sound. You'll hear when that water is getting close to the top, it'll start to make a different noise. You can look down in the hole if you have the right light, and you can kind of see that it's up at the bottom of the fill port, so that means it's full, and that's it. That is literally the process of this pot. And you'll just come out after, I don't know,
a week or so,
maybe a week, and fill it back up. And that's it. So instead of having to come out here every day and water this, especially while it tries to stabilize, we can come out here once a week, hit it real quick. I come out here quite a bit anyway to look over the garden, so I'll set myself a reminder every week to come down here and just give it some more water, and that'll be it. So hopefully, here pretty soon, this will take hold, and then for the next couple of years we'll have some beautiful oh so easy roses. Let us know what you think about this product. Let us know what you think about the plant we put in there. Any questions you might have, we're always watching the chat, the comment section, so we'll try to answer. But let us know what you guys think. If you have these, let us know what you got and if it's working or not. And then of course, again, doesn't cost anything to hit that subscribe button. Helps us out, and like I said, it doesn't cost you anything. Like the video if you found it helpful, and then from here at Trowel and Error, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Give it here, Pilgrim.
You're so good.
I know I am. Oh, yeah. Oh, that ain't bad. I need to play the lottery today.
Wow.